If you've never had an electronic machine before, the Pfaff Quilt Ambition 630 is going to have a needle up, needle down function that I think you're going to fall in love with and wonder how you survived without it on previous machines. So the goal is that when you sew, no matter what stitch you're sewing, the needle always stops in the up position, or if you've pushed it, it will stop in the down position. So down position is great if you're going to stop and pivot, turn a corner, it holds your spot. Even when you have a really heavy project and you're going to sew and then you kind of have to move it in position for the next little bit of the seam that you're sewing, you can have that needle holding that spot so it doesn't get pulled out and you get a little jig in your thread stitched area. So needle up, needle down is a great function. But I'm going to show you one more thing that this can be used for. So number one, when you are done, you can use your scissor button to bring your needle up and out of your fabric, so you don't have to bring it up before you touch the scissor button. You can go ahead and just do needle down, needle up, needle down, needle up. One way to take a little half stitch if you're kind of creeping to a point where you know you need to stop or turn or pivot. But did you know your foot control also has a half stitch in it as well? So if you tap your foot control with your toes at the top, so I always guide my students to have your foot all the way up so your toes are near the top of this. If you only put it about here, it's actually really hard to sew if your toes are only halfway up your foot control. So go right to the top here. Now, when I press this, watch what happens to the needle. I'm going to do a quick press, needle down, half a stitch, quick press, needle up, half a stitch. So I would like it if you would use either your foot control or your needle up down button instead of turning that hand wheel over there, because when you're done, it is always bringing your needle to the highest position. It's bringing the take up lever to the highest position. It puts everything at the perfect position for when you take the fabric out and when you start again. So if you've ever had to hold your threads when you started to sew, it's because you never finished the last stitch. You got it almost finished, but it didn't finish. This allows the machine to start and stop at the exact location. It's also going to help if you are teaching a youngster how to sew. You're definitely going to give them that great confidence of being able to start and stop without any troubles, and you can get them going a little bit more confidently in their sewing experiences. I'll show you a perfect example for using your needle up down button is when you check out our Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course, where when we stitch around this curve, this stitch doesn't just happen this perfect. What a lot of times we do is we'll take and sew a stitch, and then at the end of the stitch we'll stop with our needle down and pivot so slightly. So each of these stitches are not just kind of curved and pulled around as we stitch it on the curve, but they're actually stitched and then pivoted at the appropriate place. So that way it can be totally exactly located right where you want that stitch to be. So those are some of the tricks that we teach you. So if you are looking to get into more creative uses with your Pfaff Quilt Ambition 630 sewing machine, check out the free videos that you can watch and see what the course is all about. So use the scissor button when you're done. Use your foot control for a little tap for bringing that needle up or down, or even just touching the button yourself if you're just needing to take a half a stitch from time to time.